It took a while for this to happen, but we finally got an episode to be inspired off a dystopian society. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Rabbit Master back on the air once again, and today I'll be discussing about dystopian society used in the show My Little Pony. If you don't know what dystopia is, I'll give you a quick insight about the subject. A dystopia society is usually a futuristic imagined society. Orders manipulated through corporate, bureaucratic, technological, moral, or totalitarian control. The absence of love and forbidden relationships are present, with information, independent thought, and freedom being restricted. The citizens are usually in a constant state of surveillance and or in fear of the outside world, which they live in a dehumanized state. They also believe the outside world must be banished and not to trust it. If you want to read some dystopian literature, I would recommend Anthem and the Giver. Now I'll put out several points that introduce this subject, which is the episode that opened Season 5 of My Little Pony, the Cutie Map, Parts 1 and 2. So we get the main characters to see from a distance a small observation of the town, which has a kind of bland taste. We see some interesting points mentioned, which all the pony residents are smiling for no apparent reason, and their cutie mark all being an equal sign. Remember, cutie marks are supposed to represent one's ability to do something. Secondly, we see the ponies with normal haircuts, clothes, and tone of voice. We later meet the quote founder of the small village, Starlight Glimmer, who apparently convinced the residents to give up their identity and way of life by telling them that, with being the same, there won't be barrenness between one another and find true friendship by being the same. She even had the residents perform a song about being equal to the main six. After that, we learn that her plan is to strip all of the identities of all the ponies in Equestria, so she wants to spread her belief. We also learn that the only food available are muffins, which how they were made would most likely give you food poisoning. And we do learn that 3 of them would like the cutie marks back, only for a little bit though. And they do inform the main 6 that they went through the cutie unmarking by having the staff of sameness being used on them, which later turns out to be Starlight secretly using her. Anyways, after the main 6 went out to the cutie vault to see the marks for themselves, they were actually quite horrified to witness something like this. Then it turns out to be a trap and Starlight takes the cutie marks from the main 6. After the commercial break, we then see the main 6 in a single house with a room with small windows, going through the brainwashing process of being one of the main residents. After some intense moments, we see that the main 6 want to use Party Favor, a pony who singled himself out to save his friends, to spread the idea for the rest of the village to want their identity back. Later we learn that he wasn't even listening to them. But before that part, we learn that Fluttershy discovers that Starlight still has her cutie mark, and the next day splashes water on Starlight just enough that it reveals what she hid from the others, which causes the folks to revolt and successfully get their marks back, and stops Starlight Glimmer from attempting to escape the main 6's cutie marks. So, those were several points I pointed out. This episode did a good job on bringing in a dystopian society as a subject in the season opener. The protagonist does escape, but in the end all the townsfolk learn who they really are, and I hope they bring this subject back soon. What did you think of the episode and idea of a dystopia being used? Let me know in the comments below what you think and point out any details I missed. Also, make sure you support me on Patreon so I can have some kind of support for stuff like this. And make sure to see the episode I mentioned yourself. Remember, it's called the Cutie Map. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. And until next time, this is Rabbits Master, signing off. Bye guys.